Just got my suitcase from my childhood home in Boston, and I brought back my Pokemon card collection that I collected in college. Now, I have been collecting for the past 5 years outside of college, but these Pokemon cards I haven't seen in a really long time, and I have a few hundred more graded and ungraded Pokemon cards coming here. But these are my most valuable ones that I picked out. Let's check them out. All right, I've got this package that was in my suitcase, and then these were also packaged up in my backpack, but TSA decided to unwrap these ones to see what they are, but not these. I don't know. Either way, let's go ahead and crack these open. Now, a lot of this is going to be CGC graded. Now, the reason for that is back in the day, I used to grade with CGC because it was cheaper and I liked the blue label. I absolutely hate their new black label now, so I do not grade with them any longer. And also, they just do not fetch the same PSA price, so I actually might get some of these regraded with PSA because it'll boost the grade up. Because back in the day when they did blue labels, I graded probably like 800 cards with them, believe it or not. I didn't get a single 10. And I scrupulize these cards. The blue labels, you can almost always guarantee they're a half a point or 1 point lower than what they would be with PSA. I've actually regraded some of my stuff already through PSA, and 8s got 10s. So just so you know. Either way, we got Reverse Collection Moltres there. Evolution Zard. Don't know if I'll regrade this one because honestly, these are so hard to grade. I know a 10 is crazy valuable, but yeah, there's maybe a few too many white dots on this to actually get it. The Flareon EX. I know this in a 10 is like $1,000 now, maybe even more. 7.5, probably not gonna get a 10 with PSA, but it is clean, man. I might regrade that just for a 9. Blaine's Arcanine. This is another one that's just beautiful. And then we've got an Entei from Neo Rev Japanese, which I think is called like Legends Awaken or something like that in Japanese. Base set, Japanese Venusaur 8.5, and an Expedition Reverse Holo 7. Yeah, seems like a lot of those I would actually regrade to try and bump it up a grade or so, or I would just unencapsulate them. Snorlax, Legendary Collection 7. Then we got the Mega Venusaur Evolutions. Probably wouldn't regrade that one. Oh, this one's awesome. I love the Breakpoint Shiny Gyarados. Gorgeous card, but these are really hard to get 10s in. Might not regrade that one. I don't know. Because it probably would just come back another 9. We got the Legendary Collection Electrode right there. The Growlithe. And the Tag Team All-Stars Espeon and Deoxys. That is such a dope card. Pulled this one myself. A lot of these Legendary Collection ones you're seeing, I bought these like way back in maybe 2015 for really cheap. These, believe it or not, were not sought after for a very long time. These were actually considered just garbage in the Pokemon community. I really liked them, but very few people did. And now they're super sought after. All right, we got the Entei in 7.5. That I'd probably regrade. Coughing from Cosmic Eclipse 9.5. I don't even know what that's worth. Probably not worth regrading unless it's like very expensive. Tag Team All-Stars, Deoxys, and Espeon 9.5. That's a good one. 9.5 Rainbow Snorlax VMAX. One I might not regrade because Rainbow cards have plummeted in price. And the Mimikyu CGC 9. That one I probably would regrade. I like having my cards encapsulated, and that's why I do grade so much. It takes a little extra stress off of, you know, having a near mint card loose. By the way, Crobat with Diamond Service grading probably doesn't even exist anymore in an 8. I didn't grade that myself. I bought some of those because I wanted some of the Prime cards. And Black Star Promo Pikachu. So yeah, I just like having graded cards in general for my near mint stuff or just really rare stuff. That way I don't have to worry about my binders getting damaged or anything like that. So that's why I grade so much. And the only reason I would regrade cards like these is if I think it's going to increase its monetary value, because While I have absolutely no plans on selling pretty much any of my cards that I really like, one day, you know, it might be nice too. I sold some a while back to buy my house, but beyond that, I keep most of mine. Roaring Skies, Shaman EX, beautiful card. Obviously not going to be regrading any PSA cards. Charizard, reverse foil promo right there. Hidden Fates, Leafeon EX, or GX rather. For a while, I wanted to get every single shiny from Hidden Fates in PSA 10. I managed to grade this one out of 10. I graded, I think, the Scyther out of 10 as well. And the Mewtwo maybe? And then I decided, you know what, I'm going to go for a binder collection in that. So I did complete my binder collection of Hidden Fates. But yeah, the PSA 10 just seemed unobtainable. We've got the Blastoise Piplup, which is, I believe, Cosmic Eclipse, but this is the Japanese version in a 9. One of those sets I really wish I'd bought more of. Yo, we got the Ivysaur in a CGC 6. We got the Empoleon Plasma Freeze in a PSA 9. All right. I am really happy with a lot of these cards because at the end of the day, I bought them for wicked cheap years and years ago, and Pokemon has only gone up since then. 7.5 Nidoking. There are 2 cards, however, I've definitely taken losses on here, and I'll point them out when they pop up, but yeah, those 2 I took a beating on. Everything else I bought for cheap and is now worth a lot more. Special Delivery Pikachu. You know the saying, time in the market is greater than timing the market? It's the exact same with Pokemon cards. If you truly love Pokemon cards and are a collector and you collect what you like, odds are other people like what you like, and your value would go up. I've been seriously collecting for the last 10 years, and before that I was a childhood collector, and pretty much everything I have has gone up. We got the Yokohama's promo cards here. I don't think I have the complete set, but actually back in the day I remember Twice Baked Jake showing off a lot of these cards, and I was so blown away by them. And so I bought a few of them and got them graded. They're all 9.5, so they'll probably come back 10s. But these I remember buying as a set for like $100 for the 4 of them. Now I'm seeing like PSA 10s go for hundreds themselves, so yeah. Shibuya's Pikachu, that's an 8. Armored Mewtwo in an 8. I love this card. I wish I had a cleaner copy of it, but yeah. And this card is one of my all-time favorites. Magikarp and Wailord GX. I might regrade this one. I love this card, and it can be serious cash in a 10. This is another one of my all-time faves, the Dialga EX Silver card from Phantom Forces. Now, this card, it's not in the best shape. I might not regrade this one. I don't know. It probably would only return a 7 or an 8 anyway. But, yeah. And then this Tyranitar from Expedition, which I'm pretty sure I purchased this for like $30 back in the day. And, I mean, it's in good condition. It's just with a crappy grading company. So, yeah, that might be worth regrading. Especially when a lot of these price points are pretty low as investments to begin with. Now we get into some more PSA. Obviously, these I am not regrading. So we got a PSA Lugia Eo Genesis, baby, and I love this thing. It is not first edition, but I honestly don't really care. This is just one of my favorite Lugia cards out there, and I love it. I just wanted it in my collection, and so that's why I got an 8, because it's an expensive card otherwise. And as long as it looks good, that's fine with me. These gold stars, okay, wait, hold on. I know I have each of them. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I've got all 3 of the Legendary Dog Gold Stars, each one in a PSA 9. So we got the Entei, the Suicune, and the Raikou. I love gold stars as cards. I've never pulled one myself, but it was right in the era when I was a little kid opening cards and I always wanted to get one. One of my best buds had the Charizard gold star. I wonder if he still has it. And so I bought these in like 2019 as a pack of 3, and I believe I spent $400 on all 3 of them. So a pretty good deal. Especially now, but at the time I was like, oh my god, this is a lot of money. All right, next up we've got a First Ed Dark Raichu PSA 9. Did not grade this one myself, but back in the day I used to be very active on the Pokemon vintage Instagram community, and so I purchased this from someone on that along with some other cards that they were trying to liquidate. And this one too, I purchased from someone I bought so much bulk from that they gave me a really good deal on this. I used to buy a ton of vintage bulk because I loved binder building of like Neo Genesis, base set, fossil, etc. And he was like, hey, I've got this Split Earth Flareon, which I believe it's the English is Skyridge. It's either Skyridge or Aquapolis, but I think it's Skyridge. And it's in a Gem Mint 10. It's actually the old PSA label. You don't see that one very often anymore. And I was like, you know what? Sure, I'll buy it. So 60 bucks. I remember specifically the price tag at the time was 60. And I thought that was a great deal. I think it was like 20 off eBay last sold. And it was because I bought like pounds of bulk from him. So that is just a gorgeous card. I do not have a lot of Skyridge or Aquapolis, so that's really fun to have for me. Then we've got the Reds Pikachu here. This used to be a card that was a dime a dozen. Literally, you could buy like 100 of these at $15, $20 all day long on eBay. This was such a highly graded, highly printed card for the time, and it was just considered bulk at this point. Like, it was just not popular at all, I remember. Now it's expensive. And then, oh, this is a fun one. Heck yeah, this is the only Poncho Pikachu type card I have. Let me find the sister card to it. Back here somewhere. There she is. Yep, there we go. So I bought these as a lot from another Pokemon Instagram YouTuber back in 2020, and I remember he sold me both cards for $1,000 flat, and at the time that was the second most I'd ever spent on Pokemon cards. And at that time my YouTube channel was doing quite well. Still is, it's my full-time job, but you know, I was just fresh out of college, had really no living expenses, so I was like, alright, we're gonna do it. So I got the Gem Mint 10 Team Skull Pikachu, and then the 9 in the, I don't know what, do they call this the baby form or something like that? The baby card? I can't remember, but yeah, the only ponchos I really have. I wish I had the others. It's actually my least favorite poncho, but it was the only one that guy had, and I wasn't gonna buy them on eBay or anything like that. So this is one of the cards that I got absolutely hosed on. I remember this was like peak 2020, and it was Pokérand, I think was it? The guy who owns Ace Grading. I don't really watch his stuff anymore, but I know he like died off, and then now he's extremely popular again. And he seems like a pretty good content creator nowadays. But back then it was all about the money with him. And I remember he was saying like, this is the best investment. The tag team Reshiram Charizard PSA 10. He was like, this is going to be like a $10,000 card. Well, it ended up getting reprinted in English because it was originally a Japanese exclusive. Got reprinted in English. And on top of that, popularity of this card completely plummeted. So I paid $900 for this card. It is not worth that now. One of my worst Pokemon investments. And we'll see the other one later on. Oh, we've got the Rescue Team Pikachu. Love this card. Bought it for 30 bucks PSA 10 back in the day. Such a glorious card. I still think this one's super undervalued. And I love the Rescue Team games. Red Rescue Team for the Game Boy Advance. Goated. Also, the remake for Switch is amazing. Gold Star Pikachu. I bought this for 100 bucks. And I did not grade it myself, actually. And it's just, you know, kind of a crappy copy. But again, I like Gold Stars, and it looks good. Like, if you were to put this on your wall, you wouldn't be able to tell it's a 3. You really have to, you know, examine the whole thing. Most of the defects are on the back, so it's a great display piece. This is the other complete and utter flop card. This was a Twice Baked Jake recommendation, I believe. And don't get me wrong, Twice Baked Jake has given amazing other recommendations for collecting that have increased in value and also are just cards that I'll hold on to forever because I love them and I always want them to be a part of my collection, and they're just too expensive now to buy. So this was, I think, the only bad Twice Baked Jake recommendation I ever took. CP6 Charizard. I bought it for $1,000. It has fallen extremely hard. Yeah, this was a rough one. I have no idea where I bought this. I don't even remember buying it. PSA 7 Crystal Guardians Charizard. A lot of these reverse holo cards from this era are worth a ton of money now. However, at the time, when I used to collect a lot of these, they were worthless. These have had huge come-ups, and I wish I got this in better grade, but still a great card. And then a First Ed Neo Revelation Suicune, PSA 10. I believe I bought this in a lot back in the day, and I have no idea how much I paid for it. Very nice. Okay, we got another Gold Star. This is a 1. It's even stained, bro. There's like some ketchup on it. Look at that water damage. Yeah. Oh boy. Okay. Yep. Incredible. Celebi Gold Star. I think it's Cool Trainer Ryan has like 50 of these because he just wanted to own them all. He wanted to do like a buyout or something, I believe. I could be misremembering that, but I know he's got like 50 Celebi cards, or maybe it's Shining Celebi, but I think it's Gold Star Celebi. I don't know, but that's absolutely crazy. Red and blue, I'll probably regrade this one. It's an amazing card. And this one, I examined it earlier. It's definitely PSA 10 worthy. Magmar EX. I bought these when no one cared about these EX cards. Bought it for like 30 bucks. It's only PSA 9. Might have even overpaid at the time, but I love these EX cards, man. They're so cool. And a random base set Alakazam PSA 9. Great card. Don't know how much I paid for it. Okay, now 2 big dogs left. So first of all, Shining Magikarp. This was a card I always wanted and snagged it in a PSA 8 Unlimited Edition. Very happy to have this. It's another one of those cards, I don't care what the grade is, as long as it looks good, and I don't care about the First Ed symbol. Obviously, if I could get those for cheap, I would do it, but, you know, at the time, these cards were expensive, still are, and I just wanted it in my collection in a decent grade. The same goes for the next card, which was my Grail card for the longest time. It is the most money I have ever spent on a Pokemon card to this day. I bought it in 2020. I bought it for $4,300. And for the longest time, I overpaid for it. I bought it at the peak at the time. And I remember I was the highest last sold for months. And it was just going down, going down, going down. And then I decided maybe I am an absolute idiot and I wasted $4 grand. I'm just gonna put this card on display, enjoy it because it's awesome, and not look at the price anymore. And Nowadays, it's worth a lot more. I believe it's like a 7 grand card. I saw one sell for 8, but that seems like an anomaly. PSA 6 First Ed Shadowless base set Charizard. Yep, the most I've ever spent on a Pokemon card, and it still remains one of the prizes of my collection. There are cards I like more than it, but there's just something so great about it, so nostalgic about it. And I'm glad I bought it when I did, because for a little bit I did regret it when every price after me was less and less and less. However, now that doesn't matter because it's way above that. And also, it feels like, as a vintage collector, I am primarily a vintage collector, this is a must-have. So guys, let me know if you want to see the other pickups coming from Boston. They're in a moving truck along with some of my furniture and other stuff that I've been waiting to bring down from Boston ever since I moved, but have been too lazy to do so. So there should be a lot more cards coming in this moving truck. Let me know in the comments if you guys want to see those. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe.